Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. We're going to take a look at the market this weekend and start off here with the Dow Industrials, the Russell 2000, check in on a couple of indicators, look at a couple of stocks like Micron Technology, Oracle, and Tesla. So let's start off here with the ETF Dashboard. When I saw this ETF Dashboard this weekend, I shared it with my members, and there's a lot more to it. I'm just showing you the highlights of the indices and the sectors. But when you see the sectors and you see what happened in terms of what was declining and what was advancing this week and last week, 50-50 each week. I mean, what came to mind is the title I've got on the video. The market is straddling the fence. I mean, literally, it's like got one leg on each side and isn't quite sure which way to go. Or maybe another way to look at it is it running out of steam? We'll see. So when you look at the index ETFs, the one that was the strongest was the Qs, not huge, 0.6%. The Russell 2000 was the leader to the downside, and 3 out of 4 were negative this week. Everything's positive on the year, 20.7% on the Qs to the upside. But over here in the sectors, the biggest gainer was consumer discretionary and telecom at 1%. That's it, percentage-wise. Nothing else was greater than that. And the worst performer was home construction, minus 4.2%. And in second place was energy, minus 3%. When you look at year-to-date, 15 up, 1 down. So that's kind of stayed about the same here for recently anyway. Semiconductors are far and away out in the lead. And they've been that way all year long. And then home construction, it just looks like it is starting to crater. I mean, we'll see if it breaks down, and that could be a major signal for the cycle too, for real estate as well as for the market. We'll see. Okay, so that's where we sit with the ETF Dashboard, kind of a snapshot, side by side of the industrials. Down 323 points for this week. The S&P 500 up 7 points. The NASDAQ 100 up 149 points. But you can see that if you go back here to the week of October 25th on the SPX, we have not taken out that high. And I'm not sure, I think the closing high intraday may have been October 29th. And we definitely haven't done it here over here on the NDX also. Same kind of picture. So either we're just stalling out and it's kind of a pause, or this initial break coming out of October was the start of something. Let's take a look at the Dow Diamonds. I'm going to go back over here to the home page. So on Friday, they were up 64 cents. Actually, they were up bigger than that. I think they're up about $1.64. For whatever reason, my data provider, it's not in sync there. The price, the actual price on it is correct. But this was a little bit greater than that because the Dow Industrials were up, 183. And so the Dow Diamonds, there's no way the diamonds were only up 64 cents on Friday, but down 465 on the week. So same kind of picture that we've got. You know, this dashed line across the highs over here from a year ago into January. And, you know, it came, you know, we broke above it right here in August. We've pulled back to it. It's going to be really interesting to see, does this hold on any kind of a significant pullback and corrective move in here. So right now, I am looking at the Elliott Wave picture, and it says this. I think I am leaning into the fact that we are in this fifth wave of the intermediate wave 3. And yes, I believe we are in intermediate wave 3, which is going to lead us to a bigger, more messy intermediate wave 4, because I believe if you go by the guidelines of alternation, you had a zigzag, a very clear zigzag for wave 2 in 22. And so now when this fifth wave ends, if it hasn't ended already, we're going to get a pretty messy wave 4. So now when I look at this, I am still leaning into the fact that this could very well be trying to finish off the fifth minute wave within the fifth minor wave up, okay? But I am very closely watching what's going on here over the last several weeks, because you could also make the case that maybe this high on December 12th was it. And then we start to collapse. But I'm just watching to see this little range that we've got here between these pivots. If you go down to the 130-minute time frame, I am watching this low, which was Thursday's low, to see if it holds. Because if it doesn't hold, then it's going to come after this December 10th low. And so we're going to see which pivot point breaks, here or the high up here on December 12th. So that's what I'm closely watching. Okay, so that's where we sit with the Dow Diamonds, which corresponds, of course, to the industrials. Let's take a look at IWM. Okay, so IWM was up 208 on Friday, down 306 for the week. Okay, so on this week, again, I did show you on the dashboard, it was the weakest performer of the four major indices, right? And then when you look over here on the daily, the last 2 days have been inside the trading range of Wednesday. So we're just kind of compressing in here. And the real question is, are we, with Friday's price action, are we really trying to push to the upside? I'm a little skeptical. I'm leaning into the bullish camp here on the weekly view. I'm leaning into this, but there is an alternate that is much more bearish. But right now, every time we have tried in the past, over the year or two, to stay with the bearish view, it then fails. It just doesn't play out. So right now, I'm leaning into this. But what this says is I think we've got more to go. If this is truly a wave 2 pullback here, a second wave within this third wave here, third minute wave. If this is wave 2 and it hasn't finished, my target would be down here on a 50 to 61.8% retracement. Well, that's down in the 240 to 243 area, and we closed up here at 250.79. So that would imply we got more to go to finish off this down to the downside. So that's kind of where I sit and am watching here with the Russell 2000 ETF. Now, I mean, you could see the 21-day moving average pretty strongly to the upside, breaking above the 55, and the same, everything's aligned on the weekly to the upside. Now, again, moving averages are lagging indicators. So just because they're all aligned to the upside right now, that could change in a week. So we'll see, or a week or two. So we'll see what happens here. But right now, I am looking for a little bit more here to the downside and on a corrective move here in the daily side of IWM. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of indicators. Okay, so Friday, the VIX really got whacked, really cratered, down to $1.96, sitting at $14.91. We're right back down where we were sitting on December 11th. And, when you, let me pull over here, kind of zoom back out a little bit. You can see, let's take a look at the year. So here's like the beginning of the year. And in January into February, we're right above this band. And then, we got the big spike into, March, April, into April. We pulled back down, and here we are sitting in August in the beginning of September, a couple spikes, and now we're right back down into this. So, it's hard to say just because we're back down in this area to say, oh, well, the market, is getting ready to break and this is going to start elevating again. But we are getting down into that territory where, the next major move most likely is going to be a spike, but it hasn't been able to hold that over the last couple of days. I mean, we got above the 10-day moving average for 2 days in a row and then collapsed. So that's where we sit with the VIX. It is what it is. Now, what was interesting, though, the one that really jumped out at me was the high yield bond fund. So I've been watching this because this looks very toppy to me. Now, this was down 42 cents on Friday, down 21 cents on the week. Now, when you zoom back out of the daily, it just looks like a big topping formation in here. So the real question, I've got a dashed line across these highs because I really thought after Thursday's price action, well, maybe it's going to break to the upside and this is a big fake out. And then all of a sudden we get this move on Friday and I'm like, what the heck? It's in the moving averages flipped to the downside. The 10 just crossed below the 21. May mean something or may not, or it may mean something like right in here, maybe a flush we're about to get. So I don't know. This just keeps haunting me looking at this big picture of the high yield bond fund, because to me, this is very much a risk on, risk off type of indication. All right, let's take a look at a couple of stocks. So Micron had earnings out, I think it was Wednesday after the market. The market liked it. They jacked it up pretty nice on Thursday. Friday, here, let me get this lined up. We're up 17.37 on Friday, up 24.78 for the week. So continues to push. Just when you thought, well, maybe we're going to break down in here, nope. Bounced right back up. Now, this is starting to look kind of overlap-ish-y, right? I mean, when you look at this is a three-wave. This is not an impulsive wave. That's a three-wave corrective type pattern. So when you start to see that and you start seeing a lot of overlap, it does, to me, create a little question mark in your mind. It could be the start of an ending diagonal pattern of some kind. So keep that in mind. But right now, this is looking and acting strong. ORCL is not. Of course, everybody and their brother's been talking about ORCL. It was up 11.94 on Friday, though. And I've still got the daily over here. I want the weekly. Up $2 for the week. So this it's trying to turn. There's definitely divergence. We got a little bit of divergence here. We got a bigger divergence showing up now. I mean, it's trying to turn, but it's got a lot more work to go before you can get real excited about the fact that, oh yeah, we got a turn that's underway. It's just not there yet. Okay, so, and then the last thing I wanted to look at was just, Tesla is sitting at a new weekly closing all-time high at 482.65. Actually 481.20, I guess. Let me look at this. Yeah, 481.20. That's in the aftermarket-ish on Friday. So this kept pushing. What was interesting is if you look over here on the daily, from October 2nd, that's the intraday high on October 2nd, to this closing low here on November 21st, went through a pretty good corrective pattern for a little over a month and a half. And then all of a sudden, right in here after Thanksgiving, it started to, get some momentum in here. Right in here is the critical point, and then it just started to surge. And so right now you got to say this thing is looking and acting like it wants to just keep pushing higher. Let me see what the ADX is. It's a little bit above 20 on the ADX, and then 20 and rising is a solid indication of trending, which all you got to do is look at the chart to see that. So anyway, a lot of things you can look at, but right now this is looking pretty solid, like it wants to move. Okay, that is it for this weekend. We'll see how we finish off or how we handle the Christmas week. We have 3.5 days of trading this week. Wednesday, we're open half a day, close midday, and Friday, open all day. Everyone have a great week, and Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays to everyone.